Halloween Resurrection is the 8th installment in the Halloween franchise, and this is the film that killed any interest in further Halloween films and ruined a great ending that we had. The plot of this film involves Laurie Strode finding Michael Myers and getting killed in the opening sequence. Okay, I guess movie over then, time to go home. Wait, what do you mean this becomes Blair Witch Project mixed with Halloween? And we get very unlikable characters and Busta Rhymes. Guys, what could I say that has not already been said about Halloween's Resurrection? You have seen this film if you are a horror fan or a Halloween fan. You have seen what's wrong with it. But just for the few of you who are new and is coming to this review thinking, what the fuck is a Halloween Resurrection? I'll tell you what it is. It is a piece of shit sequel that does not deserve the title of Halloween. Halloween 1978 by John Carpenter is a classic of the genre. It influenced so many slashers in the 80s and 90s and still continues to be a big influential film in horror today. But back then, when we got so many sequels, because 80s and 90s horror was like that, they decided to change things up a little bit by this point, because we got so many sequels at this point with so many different timelines that they thought they could reset with Halloween H2O. But the thing is, the Dimension Company, I believe, that wanted to continue making movies, hit a roadblock because Halloween H2O killed Michael Myers off in the most final way possible by beheading him. So what did they decide to do? They decided to make sure we know that it was all a scam. It was not real. It was a fraud. It never happened. It was a fabrication. We need to make more money. We need to make more money. The last one made a lot of money. So they faked Michael Myers' death in the beginning of this film, and they had Michael Myers kill Laurie off. Now, while this ends up being a stupid decision by the end of the film, if you're coming to this new, you would think, this is ballsy. You gotta have a really interesting story if you're gonna make a decision like that. But like Terminator Dark Fate, I'll get to the Terminator films soon enough. Don't you worry. I know I said that last year that I'll continue with the Terminator series, and I will, but life is busy, you know? Like Dark Fate, the rest of the film does not justify that decision. The rest of the film involves this TV host trying to bring in this group of college kids, or I would assume college kids, together to the Myers house to film reality TV. And one of the characters also is watching from a computer this whole thing happening from his party. And the TV actors have to survive the Myers house when they figure out that Michael Myers is actually in the house and killing him off. Now, what's the overall plot? What's the overall message? What's the story of this film? How does it further develop our characters in the Michael Myers story? It does nothing. It does nothing. I'm sorry. This is just Michael Myers coming back home, finding a bunch of people in his house and just chopping them off left and right. It'd be like he is just trying to get these people off his property because they're destroying everything and having orgies in there, you know? They're wrecking his home. Yeah, I mean, his home is already wrecked, but he wants it like this, and these kids are making it worse and worse. So you are sympathizing for Michael because not only do you not care about these characters, I mean, the closest character you could get to caring about here is probably Busta Rhymes, but that's because it's Busta Rhymes in a Halloween film. That sentence alone should tell you what kind of tree you're in for. In fact, you can classic moments like this.
Oh shit, man. Charlie, where the fuck you been at, man? Don't you know we've been looking all over this motherfucker for you? Why the hell you dressed like me anyway? I ain't telling you to be Michael Myers. I'm playing Michael Myers. You don't get it? You don't get it? Your shit ain't working up there, son. Go back there the door and help my ass out. I left the back door unlocked for your ass to go out the back into the garage. Scoot, skedaddle, get the fuck out of Dodge.
And then you think to yourself, what were the writers smoking when they came up with this idea? Why do they think that this is what should be continued after the satisfying epic conclusion of Halloween H2O? How is this what the Halloween series became? Now, aesthetically and stylistically, it's taken a lot from Blair Witch Project, which honestly, on paper, does sound like an interesting idea because you're mixing found footage with a slasher killer like Michael Myers. And Blair Witch Project back then was a big hit. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of movies influenced by that. And Halloween is not a bad choice, but how they decided to portray the found footage here felt very gimmicky and it felt very fake. And the overall found footage look of the cameras that are supposed to capture all this footage just feels so artificially fake. They don't feel like everything is happening. It doesn't feel real. It felt so acted because the actors not only do a bad job, but the camera work and overall presentation of those cameras and the cinematography just made it feel a bit too cinematic and way too over edited. It just did not work. And if I had to have like legitimate criticism on what to generally improve instead of just being angry about, this is something that is a good idea to me, but it felt like it was just poorly executed in the final product. It did not felt like these actors or directors or filmmakers were committed enough to make everything feel real. If they were going to do like a fully found footage Halloween film, like just only found footage instead of just mixing the found footage with real filmmaking and with actual like digital cameras or film cameras, the movie probably could have been a bit better. I don't know. Just how they mixed the two styles just never meshed well. And not only that, the film is way too silly for its own good. When you have Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes breaking the tension with Busta Rhymes doing karate on Michael Myers, you lose the fear of Michael Myers. This just feels like a random killer now that's just killing other folks. He doesn't feel like this unstoppable force, the black eyes, the purest eyes. It just feels like another slasher of the week that a bunch of characters have to now kill off. And yeah, this was a movie that basically killed the Halloween franchise for a good while. You thought Halloween 5 and Halloween 6 were the ones? No. I mean, they took a while to make in between movies, but never like Halloween Resurrection to Halloween 2007. And Halloween 2007 was just a remake, so we haven't had a proper continuation until 2018. This was a movie that basically killed the Halloween franchise back then, and for good reason. It was poorly developed, it was poorly written, the ideas were half-baked or ill-conceived. The acting was really bad. Like, not the worst acting in the world, but these actors did not sell me on their characters or the fear of the situation. The look of Michael Myers, the mask and costume design is better than most other interpretations, but still it does not feel scary or like psychologically weird or I don't know how else to describe this look of Michael Myers. He just feels tired. This feels like a Michael Myers that's just going through the motions. Even the kills just felt uninspired this time around, and at times a bit too silly.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I don't know. At least it's not boring. I'll say that. I mean, there's so many dumb decisions here, but I'm just at awe of some of the dumb decisions. I'm never like bored out of my mind like I'm with Halloween 5. So I think I'm always like neck and neck between this and Halloween 5 as to being my least favorite. But in terms of like grades, like actual filmmaking, this is probably worse. But at least Halloween Resurrection is a more entertaining bad movie. Halloween 5 to me has just always been boring bad. I don't recommend Halloween Resurrection. In fact, you could skip this one and not miss a thing. This has no impact on the franchise at all, nor does it do anything to continue the character's developments in a meaningful way. It fails at expanding the universe. It fails at establishing a posable threat with Michael Myers and his reasoning in the story. Halloween Resurrection is a failure. It's like, yeah, it's a failure. There's nothing else to say about this film. I'm gonna give Halloween Resurrection a D. I'm gonna give Halloween Resurrection a D-. I can't give it an F because I do find it a bit more entertaining than Halloween 5. In fact, I think I'll actually switch my grade to Halloween 5 to an F, but mostly because it was just so boring. But there were some genuine good scenes in that one, so yeah, they're basically neck and neck. Like on a good day, this is probably a bit better or worse with each film. I don't know. It's hard to decide, but yeah, Halloween Resurrection, either way, is a terrible movie. I don't recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.